Yo, can you guys hear me? Hard boiled, you there? Can you hear me, homie? All right, cool. Man, I got this camera and it's a little janky. I'm still trying to figure that out, the lighting and all that, you know what I'm saying? Chubby Teddy, Monster Productions. What's up? Yeah, first one, it is tight. Yup. Yeah, this one might be a little sloppy, a little janky, you know what I'm saying? I'm still figuring it out, but I will improve in the future. I'm trying to figure out this weekend coming up. I was invited to do a live stream with Subjective Reviews and Jeffrey, and I'm trying to see if my schedule is clear enough to where I can do it. I don't want to make no promises, but hopefully this Saturday, this Friday or this Saturday, we might be getting down on a triple banger. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, hard boiled. I mean, yeah, when you set up a live stream, brother, you know what I'm saying? You know, send me an invite or shit. I mean, I'll just tune in anyway, you know. You know what it is. But yeah, I don't reckon it'll be too many people. Hopefully it'll be a little more than just us. I appreciate you guys tuning in. But hopefully we'll have some more people here in a little bit. Will join us and everything. But if not, you know what I'm saying? That's on me because I just kind of, you know, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do this shit because I've been putting it off and off because I'm like, I don't really know, you know what I'm saying, how to do this shit. So I've been putting it off, but you know what I'm saying? So if a lot of people don't end up joining, it's cool, man. I'm happy y'all up in here with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure a few more will join, but maybe not many. I probably should have scheduled the shit ahead of time instead of just trying to drop it on everybody's head. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that's cool. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah. You know, for sure, man. I mean, yeah, I mean, I talk to Subjective all the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm always up in that dude's inbox. We always chit chatting about shit. You know, privately, I'm probably up in his inbox a little more than he likes sometimes, but he's a cool motherfucker. I like him. I fuck with Subjective. That's my boy. And yeah, I appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the love. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, I don't know if you guys seen or not, but did you guys also tune in to um, Subjective or Fatal J's live stream? He did a collaboration. It was like 4 people actually. Yeah, it was on Fatal J's page or channel. I'm sorry, and it was Fatal J. It was Subjective Reviews, and it was Chris Wong Swenson, aka Ping Pong Flicks, on there, and I think Sean O'Connell, I believe. Yeah, I believe it. But yeah, they was doing a shit. They did a shit. It was all 4 of them. I was like, that was cool to me, and they said a lot of interesting stuff on there, man. You know, right up my alley. Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm trying, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, man, I've been Fatal J, my boy. That's my boy, Fatal J. That's my boy too. Most of you guys already check out. You know what I'm saying? Fatal J too. But if you don't, he's a cool ass dude. Go check him out too. You know what I'm saying? Because that dude, you know what I'm saying? He be bringing the pain. Fatal J be bringing the pain, you guys. You can't deny he does. That dude's cool. Fatal J has invited me to do a live stream with him. Subjective's been trying to get me to do one with him for a minute now. And I just been, you know, like I said, just kind of intimidated. Like, I don't know how to do the shit like that. And I'm like, you know, today I was just like out the blue. I'm like, you know what? And I'm ready to get the ball rolling on this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because that last live stream, and it's on Fatal J's channel, the live stream where, you know what I'm saying, it's on his channel. But like I said, it's got Chris Ping Pong Flicks on there, Subjective Reviews, Fatal J, and I believe Sean O'Connell. They're all on this one live stream. And it's got to be like his most recent video or his second to most recent video. And if you guys ain't seen that, you know what I'm saying, you guys should check that out. I was in the live chat, you know what I'm saying, and all that and whatnot. Oh, yeah, my bad. I'm clicking on the comments a little slow. Chubby Teddy, Monster Productions. Yeah, that's what I'm just talking about. Yeah, it was great, man. It was great. It was great, dude, to tell you the truth, man. It was you know, a lot of Snyder Cut talk, a lot of DCEU talk and shit. You know, it was I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Me personally, I don't know if I would have did. It's kind of strange doing four people, you know, during a live stream. It was dope. It was different though, because, you know, it's real, from what I could tell, it's kind of trying to get everybody to be able to, you know, say what they're saying and get their words in, their 2 cents in and everything when it's for you. You know what I'm saying? I believe Fatal J and Sean O'Connell, they did most of the talking. But you know, they all four of them, they did great. You know, it was awesome. It was dope. Yeah, you guys should check it out. I believe the live stream belongs. It was Fatal J, so yeah, it's got to be on his channel, and it's got to be like near the very top. Like it's either his most recent video, and it was only a couple of days ago, I believe, but his most recent video or his second to like newest video, and it's dope. Check it out when you get a minute, man, for real. What did you think of Subjective talking about Zack Snyder having his story arc? It would be rad if that's the case. You never know about the Zack attack. Yeah, or the Zack crack. That's what I like to call it. I heard somebody say, a couple people say that before, and it just kind of stuck. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I checked it. I seen that, and yeah, I liked it. I thought what he was talking about was dope, and you know, you never know. I hope that's the case. Shit, you know, right now, like to me, the fact that it's just, you know, it's taken so long for us to get an official announcement, for us to get any kind of, you know, but at the same time, there's just too much shit going on. We're getting too many hints from AT&T, from Warner Brothers' Twitter and AT&T's Twitter, and just everything, you know, and Zack Snyder himself. Obviously, shit's going very well behind the scenes, but, you know, one thing about Warner Brothers, they've always been like that, you know, until something is like, boom, bam, it's ready to go. They've got everything figured out the way they want it, all the technicalities and shit. You know, they won't say shit. You know, sometimes they'll greenlight shit and it'll just stay on the shelf for, you know, for fucking ever and just not get made. But we know that with the Snyder Cut, it's definitely getting made. And to me, what I mean, most people don't see it the way I do, but the way I see it, the fact that it's taken this long for this shit to come out means that they definitely have some kind of larger plans for the Snyder Cut than just dropping that fucker on a DVD. You know, now how big and ambiguous are them plans? Who knows? You know, who knows? They very well could be behind the scenes having Zack Snyder, you know, film his, you know, hey, you filmed a 3.5 hour Snyder Cut. You know, we're gonna let you film another 3.5 hour cut, and you know, have you wrap it all up, film it all at once, bring back who you need to bring back, and we'll release a Snyder Cut whenever they release it, and then in a year from now, they'll drop part 2. You know what I'm saying? Hell, maybe it could be part 3. We don't know, but I think the subjective was onto something with that story arc. With the 5-film arc and all that shit. Yeah, I thought that was very, very interesting. Okay. Now here's an equation. Zack Snyder loves him some patterns, and his DCU films have a pattern. Yep, that's true. Each one's half hours longer than the one before. If the pattern's intentional, his Justice League 2 is to be 4 hours. Ooh, okay, I like that. I like that idea. See, now I never even knew nothing about that equation and everything that you're talking about. With each one being a half hour longer than the one before. I never even thought about that. I don't know why that never came to my mind. That's dope. That's dope if that's true and that's the case, like you're saying it is. Yeah. Yeah, that would be, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, and if you think about this too, Justice League 2, think about this, if if it is 4 hours, which it very well could be, if it's 4 hours, then that could be what they're doing behind the scenes. That could be what's taking so long. You know what I'm saying? He could have already been bringing back. The only actor that isn't really saying nothing is Henry Cavill, and I don't know why, but Henry Cavill actually is. He does actually have a lot of love and respect for Zach. Obviously, his career and shit is most important to him. And trying to stay in the graces of the studio, the good graces of the studio, because what he wants his Man of Steel too. And you know what? We all do too. But I mean, I don't necessarily agree with the way that Henry's going about it by being so silent. But if you pay attention behind the scenes and you watch when Zack Snyder drops images and posts about Henry Cavill and his Superman, they're nothing but positive. Like, this guy's great. He always says, like, this guy's great. Henry Cavill's great. And that's my Superman and shit like that. So Henry Cavill's the only one out of all of the cast that hasn't really came out publicly and supported the cut. But for all we know, even Henry Cavill, like right now, they could be working behind the scenes on contracts and shit to get Henry Cavill to come back and film maybe whatever his major scene is going to be in Justice League 2. And it could be 4 hours long, and that could be what they're working on now. And they're going to release it like Lord of the Rings type style, or film it all at once, and then not say shit to us about it. Eventually, drop our Snyder cut, and then boom, next year around the same time on whatever date Zach chooses, because he's very specific on his release dates. Boom, hit us with the part 2. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I could see that happening. Okay, and for hints, Jim Lee strongly is implying he's been working to make an on-screen DC multiverse, and his line on stage about Snyder fans thus implies a Snyderverse, probably on HBO Max. Oh, that would be dope. I could see that on on HBO Max. Okay, yeah, Jim Lee. He's been, Jim Lee. He's got to walk the corporate line to an extent. You know what I'm saying? Because he is still currently employed working for Warner Brothers, DC, all that shit. So he's got to be like, when he's on record and there's a lot of people around and the cameras are rolling, he's got to be real smooth about what he says and how he says it. You know what I'm saying? Even if Jim Lee knows what it is and what's cracking with the Snyder cut, if the fact that, Zack Snyder himself hasn't came out and said, hey, specifically, hey, I'm filming shit right now. Zack Snyder himself, if he ain't, that means that Warner Brothers, you know what I'm saying, they don't want nobody talking about it until they know what they're doing, so they've got all their, their T's and X's dotted, and they've got, the royalties and who's coming back, whatever they're doing with it. Warner Brothers has always been real precautious, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to say shit until they are well ready, and sometimes, you know, it's like now, it's long overdue. In my opinion, they would have been way better off making at least an official announcement that, hey, we are working on it. If they're not ready to give us a release date, that's cool, but let us know what's cracking. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that Warner Brothers is it needs to work on. Is I think is their communication with the fans. But yeah, you know, I would love to see some shit like that. A Snyderverse on HBO Max. That would be dope. Hard boiled. Hey, subjective. Hey, there's my boy, subjective. Subjective reviews. What's going on? Yep, yep. Doing my first live stream. It's a little sloppy and everything. I appreciate you joining in, man. I don't, you know what I'm saying? For sure. I got to figure this shit out because I've been missing out on you guys. You and I see Fatal J in there. I'm getting a little behind on these comments. My bad. I'm still figuring it out. What up, Fatal J? But yeah, you know, I'm trying to figure this out because, you know, I've been passing up live streams left and right with you, with subjective reviews, and with Fatal J, and you know, and really it's just I ain't had the shit to do with it first, and then I got it, and I'm like, okay, you know. Then I was kind of intimidated because I'm like, I don't know how to operate the software and the camera and the shit like that, you know. Anyway, let me speed up on some of these so we can get caught up. Okay, hard boiled again. Yeah, Man of Steel is 2.5 hours. BBS Ultimate Edition is 3 hours. Snyder Cut is 3.5 hours. Therefore, Justice League 2 was and is to be 4 hours. Okay, yeah, okay. Now I get. See, now I peep what you were saying earlier. I understand it. I understand more what you're saying now. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Chubby Teddy Monster Productions. You hear that Robert Venditti, I can't say that, is going to end his Justice League comic run and onto a bigger project. No, I didn't hear. I didn't hear nothing about that. You think he may be replacing Bendis on Superman or Action Comics? I hope so. Yeah, I mean, more. You know. I didn't hear nothing about that. Huh. Let's see. Try to speed up and get caught up on here. Sorry, guys. As for Henry Cavill, I agree. He's been working for the Snyder Cut behind the scenes. In his Men's Health interview, he took his shot at Justice League while defending Man of Steel and BBS. Yes, he did. Yep. I'm happy you caught that too. Yep. A lot of people aren't talking about that though, man. I don't know why, but yeah, that's, you know, like I was saying. Yep, there it is, Fatal J. Yep, what up, brother? And like I was saying earlier, you guys, that live stream was dope, bro. With Fatal J's live stream on his channel. You guys, if you haven't already seen that, you guys should go check that shit out. It was a live stream with Fatal J, subjective reviews, Ping Pong Flicks, and I believe Sean O'Connell. It was dope. It was pretty dope. It was dope, Fatal J. I tuned in for that shit. I like that a lot. That was pretty dope, man. Okay. Hard boiled is on to something. Remember, Zack Snyder and him are good with each other, hence Zack calling him the best. Yep. Hard boiled. After the interview with Henry, Men's Health started posting polls and stuff about the Snyder Cut. Oh, did they? Almost as if Henry told them off the record. Yup. See? You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? See? You know, and it just sucks because all these, you know, every time that something comes out about the Snyder Cut and it's like an indefinite fact, or it's news, but it's not really like, you know, saying how it's coming out, or it's just news, an update of some sort, and it's just kind of a regular, nothing big to talk about, but just people start creeping, or if it's something negative, especially if it's something negative, by some clickbait articles, people come creeping out of the fucking weeds, man, out of the shadows and shit, snaking around and shit, slithering and shit like some Harry Potter shit. You remember Slithering? You know what I'm saying? Slithering out, and they talk so much shit about, oh, it's fake, it's not happening. Oh, well, if it's gonna happen, then well, it's been 2 years. How come nobody said nothing yet? But it's like these people don't understand. Like they're not passionate about this shit. They don't even care long enough to do a goddamn Google search. So let alone pay attention to shit the way that we are and see all these signs and all these things happening. You read in between the lines, guys. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always say, and you guys always do, you know what I'm saying? But I try to tell everybody that you got to read, read in between the lines of certain shit. If after that Men's Health magazine and with Henry Cavill, all of a sudden they start doing a poll and shit. I mean, come on, Warzone, what up, Warzone? It's my boy Jeffrey right there. What if the true crisis of Infinite Earths is yet to come, and the movie is to kick off that event in the Snyder Cut because Darkseid can travel multiverses? Oh shit! Oh man, that's kind of cool right there. I like that idea. I didn't even ever think about that, man. And you know what, man? You know what, Warzone? Just a little bit, to go off of that. I know a lot of people aren't fans of the CW's, Crisis lineup. It's the CW, the Flash, Arrow. I guess the Arrowverse is what you would call it. I know a lot of people probably don't watch that or are fans of that, but their Crisis on Infinite Earths that they did, the fact that it having that cameo with Ezra Miller and Jim Lee having a part in that and everything, that would make perfect sense what you're saying. And if they did that, that would be so fucking dope, And that's what I'm saying, man. It's exciting to think about. On one hand, it's frustrating because we still ain't got an official announcement. We still don't have our Snyder Cut. But we know when we do get it, Zach's going to have that fucker prestige. But, it's a little frustrating on one hand, but it's also more exciting that we don't have it still and that we can definitely tell that good shit is going on behind the scenes because they could very well be doing some shit just like that. They could be thinking up, up all this shit. And then once it gets to that point, Zach was always going to set shit up to where he would kick shit off, get the meat in the potatoes, so to say, for everybody together, the hard, get the universe to where other directors can come in, like James Wan with Aquaman, and Patty Jenkins with Wonder Woman come in and take what he built and do their own thing and branch off and so on, and so forth. And that was the initial plan was going to be like that anyway. And this right here, if they did that, everybody would fucking love it. And then the people that is the D side of the DC fandom that for whatever reason just ain't big fans of Zach's, they could have their fucking, movies like Shazam, their movies like Birds of Prey, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And that right there, that would allow to have multiple different versions of Batman, multiple versions of Robin, all the characters. You know what I'm saying? I think that would be awesome. And that's a good possibility, Warzone. Yeah. What's it say? Fatal J. What is up, Roadblock? Okay. Hey, man. What's up? Okay. So what do you think is the next RT Snyder Cut campaign / project going to be? You know what? That's a good question. Chubby Teddy Monster Productions. Man, that name's such a mouthful, bro. You be having long names like I be having. I had to shorten my shit on Twitter to just Strong Arm Flicks / T Flame. Even that's still kind of a mouthful, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, that's a good question. I don't know, dude. It took Zach a while to come out with these posts with his winning posters. Or with his winning poster for Zack Snyder's Justice League. And right around that time, RT Snyder Cut, they were doing all the arts festival stuff. and it took them forever as well. Zach finally came out, finished that and everything, announced the winner, so forth. RT Snyder Cut. I don't know what's going on with them. I don't know when the next Snyder Cut campaign or project is going to be. Honestly, I'm thinking hopefully soon. I can't see it being more than another like 2 weeks before they at least, RT Snyder Cut has some kind of an announcement about what they're going to want to do and what date. I don't think it'll be that much longer, but yeah, that's a good question. I honestly wondering that myself. Okay, Chubby Teddy Monster Productions, Warzone. Saw your video today. Great work. Yeah, Warzone makes great videos, man. He does. You guys should check him out and subscribe to him. If you like his content, check him out and subscribe to him. I fuck with him. That's my boy too. He makes, man. He that guy's a Warzone. You're a thinker, bro. You're our watchtower, man. You be thinking about shit that people don't even comprehend. You pick up on everything, every clue, every, I like the shit you do, man. I do. I like it. Dang, Hardboiled has his hand on the pulse. Okay, if you watch the movie We Own the Night with Affleck, it's going to make you want him to come back to do his Batfleck story arc. Pretty tight movie. Check it out. Okay. Yeah. You know what? I might check that out tonight, actually. Yeah, I'm just cooling it. I got my son, my son this weekend and everything, or this week, and he's laying down. Got him laying down for a nap and everything. And I was actually just watching some movie or two earlier, and I fell asleep through one, and I was just like, I don't know, I was bored, and I'm like, man, I got to figure out how to do this live stream shit. But yeah, I got some downtime on my hands, so I might check that out later on tonight. Honestly, I love Ben Affleck, man, and that I hope everybody supports and goes out and checks out Ben Affleck's The Way Back, or already had. I don't even know when that's coming out. I think it's already out, or it's been out for a while. I can't remember. But I still haven't even made it to the theaters, because right here where I'm at in Flint, Michigan, all this C virus stuff. Hopefully I don't get flagged for that. Can't be fucking around on YouTube with that word. But it's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. I mean, it's getting crazy everywhere, guys. They're shutting down shit left and right, and the theaters right now, you can't be in a crowd of over like 20 people right now. You can't be like in a crowd of over like 20 people. They're like adding security, and like they're talking about closing the movie theaters by me right now, and I haven't, and it's been crazy the last month, whole last month here in Flint. And a lot of us here in Flint, Michigan, have not been out to the theater in the last month, damn near. And it's only getting worse. So yeah, that I can probably check that out tonight, though. We Own the Night for sure. Okay, Hardboiled now 4-hour Justice League 2 would need to have an intermission at the 2-hour mark. I'd say it's about dang time intermissions come back. Yeah. Why not? Okay, T-Flame, you know what would be off the chisel? Off the chisel is in Aquaman 2. They actually add in Superman and Batfleck in the Flying Fox from the concept art. Oh, yeah, that would be dope as fuck, man. Man, that would be dope as fuck. I seen that concept art too. And, it's just, man, it's such a goddamn... Excuse my language, man. It's just such a damn shame what we could have had all these people, and mainly the critics. There's like I said, there's always people that are gonna bitch and not like things, and there's always going to nobody's ever going to like. Not every person on the planet is going to ever like the same shit. So there's always going to be critics. There's always going to be haters. But man, had these critics not have went so fucking ham and gave the haters the fire to the fuel to fucking talks all this shit and spread all this bad word of mouth on the internet and trolls and fucking bloggers and shit, man, what we could have had in the DCEU. You know, people don't understand. Even I actually very much enjoyed Aquaman. I like James Wan. I would have preferred the Zack Snyder direct Aquaman, but James Wan was always going to be the one to direct Aquaman. Early on, Zack didn't have no issue with that. It's just that, man, it just pisses me off that, you know, even the Aquaman that we got lucky that it was James Wan that could make that movie into a masterpiece because they altered the fuck out of Aquaman after the backlash to BVS and after the bullshit with Justice League. Once they went into Aquaman, dude, you know, they and you could tell they got bright colors, quirky jokes and one-liners and pee on it and shit like that. And you look at the concept art and you can see they've been trying ever since then, and now they're walking it back finally to stay away from a connected universe as much as possible and try to make everything kind of stand on its own and branch away from Justice League. And that, you know, and it just sucks because we should have got that Batfleck and Superman. We should have had that. That would have been Aquaman 1, bro. Damn. But yeah, that would be dope, man. And Aquaman 2, that would be dope. You're welcome, Warzone. Okay. I'd say Dean Cain should be the Kingdom Come Superman in a crossover crisis movie. Cain looked standard Superman in the Lois and Clark series. Nowadays, the man's built like a beast. Yeah, he's fucking beast mode. He's built for sure. He's built now for sure, man. And yeah, I think that would be pretty dope. To have him play a Kingdom Come Superman, Alex Ross style. Yep. Hell yeah, that guy is built, bro. That's what I was just saying. Yeah, he's built mean. All right. Chubby Teddy Monster Productions. So T-Flame, why do you think the critics are so hard on Zack Snyder? Honestly, I've been asking myself this for the longest fucking time. And I still have no fucking idea. My best guess, like I said, it's just my best guess. It's just that everything that critics are into is everything that Zack Snyder doesn't do, and everything that Zack Snyder is not. Critics are into quirky, fun, bright colors, popcorn, bring the whole damn fam, you know. Hence why the Marvel movies are so goddamn rated so goddamn high by critics, are talked about so fucking highly and in such regarded so highly by critics and on Rotten Tomatoes and on fucking Metacritic and all that shit, you know. And don't get me wrong, man, I watch Marvel movies too. My passion is DC though. Marvel ain't fucking with DC. But I like fucking me some Deadpool. Deadpool's my shit with Ryan Reynolds. I fuck with it, bro. Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. The movie Logan, I fuck with it, bro. You know what I'm saying? But really, and there's a couple of more movies too that I fuck with. But them are my fucking by far the only movies I truly respect and really fuck with out of Marvel. And if they had more movies like that, I don't know. I would have to check them out. But, you know, the thing is just that, you know, critics like this woke bullshit nowadays. Critics like fucking a little popcorn flick that you go in, have a good time, like Martin Scorsese said. You have a good time. It's like a carnival ride. But you walk out and you got nothing. You got You gained and lost nothing from the fucking movie. You don't remember shit from the movie. There was nothing that stood out. It didn't fuck with your feelings. It didn't make you feel really shit. Like, ooh, like when someone you fucking care about on screen, like Batfleck watching his torture in BBS, watching what he put himself through, watching him mourn in his own way, the loss of Robin. He's popping fucking Vicodin and, you know, drinking liquor and shit and fucking just on a vengeance, fucking just going crazy. You felt that shit during that moment with Batman and Superman fighting. You felt that shit. You don't feel that shit. You know what I'm saying? Walking out of popcorn flick movies. And basically, I think that the critics just, you know, like I said, Zack Snyder is what? Zack Snyder is usually down to earth, dark, gritty, with stunning visuals, with action and darkness. You know what I'm saying? That is what Zack Snyder is known for. And on top of that, there's a narrative that supposedly that all Zack can do is wow you with picture, but he can't tell a goddamn story to save his life. Now that is complete fucking bullshit. I argue with people all the time about that. And what it is just that, you know, people just repeat shit that they hear because they're not a fucking fan of it and they don't care enough to understand it. Everything that he's got tells a unique fucking story. And I don't understand where that narrative comes from. Even like a movie is fucking as brilliant as BVS. People say the story's all over the goddamn place. Or that's not really now, but back then. You know, that was one of the main complaints about, you know, and it's just like, are you watching the same shit I'm watching? I mean, seriously, like, you know, and but Chubby Teddy Monster Productions, that's my best guess. Is just that, like I said, they like popcorn flick shit. Zack Snyder is the opposite of that. So in my opinion, I guess that they just have their mind made up because they, you know, I don't know. I got that. That's all I can say, man. I don't know. No, that's a good question, and I don't think there's a real fucking answer to it. I don't know if they're bought off by an agenda, or if it. But if that's not the case, then my best guess is just that, man. Okay. Hey, T Flame, you think the Russos plagiarized Zack with BVS? Then they did Civil War. I definitely. Man, I don't want to say that I think it was the Russo brothers were responsible. But I think that they definitely had some sort of an idea that the shit that they were incorporating in their script was not their own. And I'll leave it at that when it comes to the Russo brothers, because there's no concrete, solid evidence. But somebody definitely fucking leaked scripts and leaked the fucking storyline and plot shit to fucking Marvel. I don't know how or when. Somebody definitely did that shit. And I still liked Civil War to an extent. I seen Civil War. It's better than the shit. I mean, I liked Civil War more than fucking Endgame. I didn't like Endgame at all. Just my personal opinion. Don't kill me for it. Infinity War was Infinity War. I didn't really care for that much neither. But Infinity War was way better than fucking Endgame, in my opinion. They did this, and on top of that, the Hulk is like my favorite fucking Marvel character besides Deadpool and Wolverine. And they did Hulk fucking. It was just, oh my god, crazy. They did him so dirty in Endgame. But yeah, I don't know who. Somebody leaked something somewhere. I don't know. I can't say for sure it was the Russos, man. I really can't, because so many people that are intelligent are needed to work out a film, and there's no telling where it could have came from, man. But yeah, something happened somewhere. Something leaked somewhere, some way, somehow, and somebody did that shit. Yeah. Okay. Speaking of Zack Crack, January 2019, when Zack released that All the Gods t-shirt, I noted on Vero my theory: Lois gets pregnant in the Snyder Cut after she and Clark head to the Kent farm. Then Justice League 2 ends with Bruce dying to save Lois. I seen this. And didn't Zack respond to you about this shit? Taking Darkseid with him, Final Crisis style. Then Lois gives birth, and she and Clark named their son Bruce. Zach responded to my theory with an applause. Yes, that's what I was just saying. Sorry, I didn't finish the damn quote. I didn't finish it first, but yeah, I seen that, dude. I peeped that a long time ago, man. Yeah, dude, that was you're pretty sharp for that shit, man. You were ahead of the curve, man, on that shit. And when he confirmed that, man, I was just like, wow, back then. You know, I've actually been out, like I said, I've actually been in this movement a lot longer than people realize. It's taken me a long time. Honestly, Zack Snyder, his daughter and his wife and his family, they're the reason that I initially started showing my face. Not to say that you know, that like I'm like necessarily camera shy or no shit like that, but it's just like I was fine on the keyboard and talking to people and hashtagging shit, arguing with haters, keeping haters off of our shit, putting them in their place, you know, ordering shit, trying to donate shit when I can, printing out the Zack Snyder flyers and putting them all over Flint, Michigan. Man, I had motherfuckers trying to check me and shit crazy as hell. Man, I have thugs walking around seeing me put up posters of Justice League and shit. That's the funniest goddamn shit you've ever seen, my man. Out here, and I'm like, tape, tack, keep it moving. Anyway, okay. Where am I at? I'm sorry, I'm starting to get behind again, guys. Like I said, this is my first one, my first live stream. I wonder if the Flash went to the afterlife to resurrect Superman because the Flash's lightning is blue in the comics. That means he is fast enough to travel through dimensions. In fact, Zach liked a post for it. That, whoa, okay. That's a very good possibility. Like I said, I know a lot of people. I read a lot of I read comics when I was younger. I never was crazy into comics. I collected comics like a motherfucker. Because I had an uncle that got me into it at a young age. And he was my Uncle Henry, and he was a big comic collector, big Marvel and DC fan, all that shit. X-Men, Spider-Man, all that shit. And Batman, Superman, but he had all this shit. And there would be some comics like the Deadpool, some of the old school Deadpool comics, some of the old school like Venom comics, old school Superman comics, shit like that I would read. And then a lot of them I would just keep in the plastic. A lot of the shit I watched growing up was like the animated series of like Batman and fucking just anything, you know, anything DC. I was just all over that as a kid. The animated anything DC, even the animated Marvel shit too, you know, like the old school Spider-Man and shit like that. But yeah, I never read any of the comics from back in the day. I just started checking out some of the comics of the Flash. But it's this new 52 type shit. But yeah, I actually learned about the blue lightning shit from the Flash, believe it or not. Like I said, don't crucify me for it. On the CW, the CW's The Flash TV series with what's his name, Grant Gustin. On there, that's where I actually learned about a lot of the extra shit that you gotta really know. You gotta really be a Flash fan to know. And one of the seasons, they broke it down about that blue lightning and shit. And I do remember in the trailers for the original Zack Snyder's Justice League, you know, the original trailers, seeing that one scene where he was like, boom, boom, boom. There was lightning behind him, and it looked blue. And then there was this one scene where there was the explosion. It was like a backlash wave. And that shit was all blue. It looked like lightning and like some kind of air and ripple effect shit. And yeah, that could very well be that, man. Lord Koj, what's up, brother? My boy Koj. Man, that's awesome, man. I'm so happy you tuned in, even if you only got a little time, man. That's awesome. I appreciate that. Okay, they did leak it, and I read it at the time. Script-wise, Doomsday was noted as the ultimate in front of the Trinity. Loved that was in the script, but I didn't read beyond that. Okay. Yep. Yeah, they definitely fucking leaked that script, man. And what'd you say? You said script-wise, Doomsday was noted as the ultimate in front of the Trinity. Yep, that sounds very Zack Snyderish. You know, the Trinity, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, fucking, you know, and the ultimate, Doomsday. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't remember what I read. I read something about that, honestly, back quite a long, obviously it was a long time ago, but yeah, I don't remember. Like I said, I don't know who leaked it, what, when, or how, but clearly, I don't know if the motherfuckers got on Reddit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the Russo brothers was like, hey, they just got on Reddit and shit and fucking, because everything, I swear to God, so many scripts and like legitimate shit. Like, yeah, there's always a little bit of bullshit here and there, but for the most part, there'd be some legitimate ass like fucking script leaks, plot leaks that hit Reddit all the fucking time. And you know, I don't know if the Russos just got on some shit like Reddit and they was like, hey, well, we're gonna take this and this from it. That's cool. We're gonna incorporate this into it, but we're gonna switch it up and do it like this instead of like that. I don't know. I don't know if it was like that, or if it was more direct, like sabotaging, like fucking Joss Whedon just straight, like people who were saying back, like I said, I don't know. Who knows really? But I don't know if like Joss Whedon or somebody came in and actually was like an inside man was inside of there and this shit was planned out from the get-go. I don't know, but somehow that shit got leaked and they tried to do their motherfucking thing with it and take it and run with it for Civil War. Zack Snyder's Superman is more comic book accurate than Donner's flicks. I agree. I fucking agree. Christopher Reeves has even been on record saying he wanted Supes to have a heavier story arc. Gotta love the Zack attack. Yes, Christopher Reeves was on record saying that he wasn't, you know, see, this is a thing that OG Superman film fans don't understand. Christopher Reeves himself, the actor that played Superman, you know, he even came out. I remember him saying clearly in this video that I watched one time, where he said basically, long story short, that he wanted his Superman to be more serious. He wanted his movie to not be so fucking corny and fucking. He didn't want Clark to be so fucking over the top, fucking dorky and clumsy. Not that he didn't want him to be like that, but he wanted a more serious Man of Steel. He wanted a more serious Superman and a better and stronger script with darker elements to it. And the Donner cut, that was probably Christopher Reeves and Richard Donner. They on I believe, what was it, Superman? Was it Superman 2 that the Donner cut belongs to? I believe so. I could be mistaken. But I believe on the second go around, it was the Donner cut was actually the Donner cut was the Superman 2 movie. Okay, the original Superman 2, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And I believe that's why the second go around after Superman 1, when they did Superman 2, I believe that's why the Donner cut was more serious. The Donner cut was more grounded. It had more darker elements to it, a more serious Superman in there, because that, you know, and like I said, because that's what the director and Christopher Reeves wanted for Superman. But the studio even then was muddling, and they wanted that dun da da da. I eat my Wheaties and fucking wear my tights high as I can, and oh hey brave citizen, and all, you know, and all this corny uppity fucking shit, you know, like he comes out of a building, there's a ray of sunshine shooting out of his ass and shit. Da 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 da. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's classical shit. But that's the kind of shit the studio wanted. And Christopher Reeves and Richard Donner, you know, they wanted to do that to some extent, but you know, they wanted to tell a good story. They wanted to tell a more grounded, darker story. And hence why the Donner cut and all the disagreements and shit happened behind the scenes. And 20, 30, however many years later, The fight for the Donner cut happened, and they finally got that fucker released. Did you see today? Amy Adams said she would like to do Lois Lane again, but she believes the studio is moving in a different direction. You think this means we won't get Justice League 2 and 3, or she knows something? I did not see that. Man, I missed out on some shit this last week or two. No, I did not see that. I'm gonna have to look that up and check that out. But anyway, I can still answer that question to some extent, though. So here's the thing with Amy Adams. I think it was like a little either a year ago or a year and a half ago. Amy Adams had an interview, and she said basically that same shit back then, and said like they're moving into a different direction and they're kind of revamping the DCEU. And she was asked about something similar to that question, and it can't be the same one, because that was almost over a year and a half ago when she had that interview. But she said that then, and so if there's a new interview from just a couple days ago, like you said, which I'm sure there is, and she's basically saying the same shit she did then. Basically what it is with Amy Adams is just that she loves playing her character, Lois Lane, but she is not inside the loop like that. She don't know what's going on with Zack Snyder. She don't know what's going on. And obviously, her in the studio in the DC area, they don't communicate with Amy Adams. There's a lot of actors, that even the ones that should know. A lot of these actors, they're just catching on. I don't know how. I don't know. Like, actors aren't like us, okay? They film their part. They know what their part is in the movie, right? When the movie comes out, they don't even bother to watch it, a lot of them. Because a lot of them say that because they're actors, it makes them self-conscious. It makes them self-conscious about their work and about their art. Hold on, I gotta turn this up a little bit. That's my shit. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I don't think Amy Adams not knowing what's going on, I don't think that means anything, bud. Don't think too hard about it. If she, and obviously, yeah, if she did know something, she wouldn't be allowed to say shit. She wouldn't say anything different than what she did if she knew. Okay, Lord Koj. You are right about showing face. I think it's easy to type, but to show where you stand visually, I think everyone should step up and do it. Yeah, man, I agree. It's just, man, I couldn't handle for the longest time, all these people just trash talking him. Back when I first joined, his daughter's death was still very new. He was still very much grieving, and people were so fucking out of control, like talking shit about his daughter after she died. Talking about, telling him, I don't even mean to say this shit and bring it up and say it because it's so disgusting to even have it roll off my tongue. But this is the way people were talking. And I'm sitting here reading this shit behind a cell phone after I'm clocking out of work. And I'm like, really? Really? And that, and he was, I've always been a big fan of Zach's, prior to all of this, prior to even, Man of Steel. And it's just to see that and see so many people on top of people just going fucking retarded to where they forced this man off of fucking Twitter. He left Twitter. He couldn't take it anymore. I wouldn't be able to handle that shit either. That's what made me get, I'm like, you know what? Fuck you, motherfucker. What the fuck is you talking about? That's what got me more into what the fuck is going on in Hollywood. What is going on with critics? That's what started making me open my brain. And I'm like, what the fuck what is going on with everything? What's going on in Hollywood? When did this shit become okay? Why do critics hate Zack Snyder? Why are all these people talking shit? Why is no media outlet or nobody talking or defending Zack Snyder, knowing that he got forced out and his daughter died and they used it as a cover-up? Why does no one give a fuck about that? Why isn't all these 20 million YouTubers and assholes on the web, why are they condoning people to talk like this about this man's deceased daughter and no one's saying shit? You know? Woosah. That's what got me initially like, okay, you know what? And I started, early on when I joined into the movement and shit, that's how it started. And from there and there, the haters got louder and louder, and I realized I had to get louder and louder. And I agree, Coach A. I think so too. I think so too, brother. Anybody that's able-bodied that is part of the movement, or not even, they don't even have to necessarily be part of the movement, but is for artistic integrity, or is for justice for Zack Snyder and what happened to him, or anything in between, they should step up and get out here, do whatever, contribute in any way that you can, and that's all that I'm trying to do. And I'm just a man, one man trying to do the best that I can in that aspect. Man, it's a good thing there ain't like a lot of people on here, because I'm very slow at this. I'm starting to realize at clicking on the comments, and I like to talk to each person, and not just rush them off. I like to talk and read their question and give them a legit answer and break shit down, and I realized that, if I was this weekend, if I'm able to do this live stream, I might not be able to do every single question. If we've actually got, I'm on there with Subjective and Jeffrey and, whoever else, or even if it's just us, there's probably going to be a lot more people in the chat. And, but hey, you learn as you go. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I'd say hard-boiled entertainment. So I'd say, imagine Justice League 2, Hour 1, Clark and Lois's wedding. Then Bruce and Victor analyzing their nightmare visions. Okay. Hour 2, Darkseid invasion. He whacks Lois. Soups give. I don't know why that was funny. Soups gives in to despair. Intermission. I know, man, and I'm such a fucking big fan of evil Superman, or Superman that don't take no shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, part of what Zach was doing, like with with like Ben Affleck's Batman, obviously a lot of what he was doing with Ben Affleck's Batman was the Dark Knight Returns, Frank Miller shit. And like with Superman, I always thought that, I'm pretty sure that Superman's arc, where he drew inspiration for Superman's arc in BVS and leading into Justice League, mainly Justice League, was inspiration from the Injustice storyline, even the Injustice video games. I don't know if you guys play them. I love them. Or the Batman Arkham Knights, I love that too. But the Injustice Superman, but it's not in the Injustice though. It's I'm trying to think, who is it? It's Joker does some crazy shit that blows up Lois and kills Lois and drives him fucking nuts. But it'd be much cooler to see, Darkseid himself come down and get, hands on and get dirty with it. You know what I'm saying? And just see him fucking freak out. And, the Flash, he'd probably have to run through time and fix that event from happening like immediately before Clark fucking went nuts and started fucking just capping people's asses. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Hour 3, Nightmare Earth. Hour 4, Bruce, Victor, and Barry figure out the time travel. Barry goes to the right point and warns Bruce, and y'all know the rest. Yup. Hard-boiled entertainment. Yup. Okay. Warzone, I think, cracked something huge with his Flash theory. Zach reads comics for sure. Yes, he does. Zach, see, that's the thing, man. Zach definitely reads comics, man. And he puts his little bit of a dark edge and fucking stunning visuals on everything that he touches, and it's just I love that shit, man. I can't get enough of that shit, you know. And I just it just sucks to me because I just can't believe that so many people. I understand what Marvel did on the silver screen or the big screen, whatever. Their cinematic universe, the way it built up, that's what made it work for them. Their shit is so different. Like I always tell people, you cannot compare the two. But they built their shit up slowly over time. And that's what made it work because they had people so invested by the time phase 3 came around. Phase 4 shit was getting crazy by phase fucking 3. Phase 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, coming around, and it's just like, slates and slates and slates of movies. That's what slowly, there was no competition at the time. DC wasn't doing shit. The only thing DC had popping off was the Dark Knight trilogy, with that Christopher Nolan produced with Christian Bale. Okay, that's all DC had to offer, and I liked the movies. I enjoyed them. But there was no other, that came out between, a certain period window and towards probably when The Dark Knight came out with Heath Ledger was when Marvel popped off with The Incredible Hulk. And that movie, I liked it with Edward Norton. I liked that a lot. They replaced him with Mark Ruffalo. I instantly was like, you fucked up. Mark Ruffalo was good, but Edward Norton, again, Marvel in the comics is just like DC comics. Marvel comics, they're not all light and bright and shit. That's just the way that they chose to make the fucking movies. And the thing is that Marvel doesn't have no competition when it comes to the film verse. They really didn't have to compete with themselves. They didn't have 20 million remakes. No one had ever made a Marvel Cinematic Universe on live screen before, but guess what? DC has been making standalones and in the fucking game for a long, long time before Marvel even thought about coming on the big screen. There was really no, so now that when DC kicked off their DC Extended Universe, everybody's, there's been how many fucking Batmans? So now everybody that, isn't a fucking big comic fan, or you don't have to be a Zack Snyder fan, but either a comic fan, a DC hardcore DC comic fan, or a Zack Snyder fan that were DC fans. They were just like, listening to all this negative bullshit from critics and repeating it. And it's like, dude, you're a DC fan too, man. You can't try to destroy what the fuck is going on for all these people because you're uneducated and don't want to fucking spend a few minutes brushing up on your knowledge on shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem that we have, why our fan base, even now, as a DC fandom as a whole, I'm not even talking about just, Zack fans or DCEU fans, just DC fans all the way around. There's still a part of a huge division because of the fact that, there's just so many things. Supermans for we've got multiple Superman, so they're critiquing the fuck out of Henry Cavill's Superman. They're critiquing the fuck out of Ben Affleck's Batman. There's been how many Jokers, and Heath Ledger did give a hell of a fucking performance, but still, he's dead. God bless his soul, rest in peace. He did a great job, and that's the only I don't really Christian Bale's Superman, the voice. Or Christian Bale's Superman. Christian Bale's Batman. I liked the voice was too much. They're still making bad fucking memes and videos on YouTube and on the web to this day about that. There's a lot of people that are gonna do God in this world. That voice, it threw me. Everything else about his Batman, I love. Batman Begins was great. Dark Knight, I didn't care for. Heath Ledger made it wonderful, though. Heath Ledger fucking killed it. But he was not a comic accurate Joker at all. Heath Ledger's Joker was not comic accurate at all. Okay? And the man passed away. Okay, Jared Leto comes along how many years later? Almost 10 years later? And, or not 10 years, but damn near 10. And, they're critiquing No one's gonna top. No, if any person that plays the Joker were to try and do what Heath did, they would have failed. The reason why Joaquin Phoenix is so big was because they made it fucking. They had help from Martin Scorsese, dude. You know, Martin Scorsese at one point was attached to that project. Okay, and on top of that, they just did whatever they told a story that had nothing to do with DC, and then just put Bruce Wayne in there. You know what I'm saying? And they, you know, the movie, the way it ended, it's either the movie could go one or two ways. One, the whole movie is a big fucking joke, and the movie wasn't even about the Joker. It was a great movie, even if it wasn't. But it wasn't even about the Joker. It was just Joker and title only. Or the movie is about the Joker, but he wasn't the real Joker. The real Joker's there in Arkham. You know what I'm saying? That's the couple of ways that I can see it ending. But it's just like people just hated the hate game. David Ayer said it best. The hate game out there is so strong, and the bias is real. Back when his Suicide Squad was just getting fucking panned, and it's just a damn shame that even now that we still got to argue and fight with people. Like, it's just crazy. Like, just because the movies aren't light and bright like Marvel does not in any way mean that the movies are shit. Yeah, Justice League 2 sounds lit. Yeah, it does, man. Maybe we'll see that story realized again someday. Yup, but Zack Snyder's Justice League is waiting for us. The Russos actually confirmed that Kevin told them to do Civil War. Oh, really? Warzone. Huh. Oh, so Kevin Feige had something to do and maybe it wasn't the Russos, but so Kevin Feige had someone on the inside then, huh? Huh, I didn't know that. So the Russos confirmed that Kevin told them, to do Civil War when BVS was announced. And Captain America 3, I believe, was originally completed different. Huh. See, that's what I mean, Warzone. You're a fucking watchtower, dog. Okay, Hardboiled Entertainment. Amy saying she thought the studio was moving in a different direction was her conversation with Nicole Kidman shortly after Aquaman came out. Amy later said she didn't know. The studio was just silent. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Are you talking to Hardboiled? Are you talking about what I was talking about, the initial interview that I was talking about, not the one that that was just brought up about a couple days old. Yeah, right after Aquaman came out. Yep, that's when right after Aquaman first came out. Yep, and it was like what was it, about a year ago or something, right? Yeah, and yeah, yep. Amy later said, yeah, she just said that she didn't know. Yeah, and the studio was silent. Yep, that's what I was talking about earlier. Yep, that must be the one. Yep, that must be the one I was talking about. So if she just did a new one in the next last 2 or 3 days, then I haven't seen that one. But it basically just sounds like she's just, I don't really need to, because it sounds like she's really just repeating what she's already said before. And I mean, she's really not inside the loop like that. There's a lot of people that are very close that that portrayed these characters. You'd be surprised. Like, if Henry Cavill's to be believed, in his interview, he said that he didn't even know what the fucking Snyder Cut was at first, until it was broke down to him. Jesse Eisenberg, way back, and oh, by the way, guys, Jesse Eisenberg just came out again in the last couple of days during some kind of interview and said again that he would love to come back and play Lex Luthor. But anyway, back to what I was saying before that. Jesse Eisenberg, a while back, he came out and said that that he didn't know what was going on and he didn't know what the Snyder Cut was. The dude broke it down to him, and then the dude fucking tried to play the fandom and say that it was a joke and that it's like, oh, maybe deleted footage or some shit that they pieced together, and he cut him off and he was like, and he cut the dude off and put him in his fucking place, and it was like, and basically was like, no, I mean, I would be interested in seeing that, and I think that would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? Plus, I think that I filmed some shit for Justice League that maybe didn't make it into the movie. So, and that's my thing too. You got to give Jesse Eisenberg. We don't give Jesse Eisenberg nearly enough props, guys. It just sucks that we didn't really get to see him as bald Lex Luthor with a storyline. Because at the end, when he went bald and he was like, ding, 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 ding. Like, to me, I'm like, that is an insane, comic accurate fucking Lex Luthor. Not like the ones we've got on film before, but that is, and to you guys that are, that are Zach fans and keeping up with it, you know exactly which comic that Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor is fucking based off of. It's just, man, I loved him as Lex Luthor, and in the Snyder Cut, he's definitely got an arc that they cut right out. And I actually did a video. I mean, it was quite a while back. I think it was like Strong on Flicks, like episode, like it might even have been negative when I was still the Real Talk Show. But I don't know. It was Strong on Flicks, like it was in my early episodes. But where I talked about Jesse Eisenberg and Cyborg, their arc in the Snyder Cut is connected, because you guys remember that scene in the Snyder Cut trailer where it shows Cyborg and he's human. He's walking around in his fucking jacket, his jock jacket, his football jacket. And in the background, it's in Germany, and there's red Nazi fucking flags hanging up. And he goes, boom, 1 step, 2 step, 3 step. Camera fades away, switches to different scene. You don't see it again. But it's in the trailer. And, and obviously it wasn't in the fucking theatrical cut, because everything from the Snyder Cut got removed from the theatrical cut. But I made a video on it a while back, and what it was is that what if, because you guys remember in BVS, okay, there was one scene where Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor was talking, and he said, Dad was from Germany, and every now and then he'd have to wave, what do you say? He'd have to wave something at wave flowers or something at tyrants, some shit like that. And that got me to thinking. Zack Snyder always thinks out everything. You know what I'm saying? His story, his plots, his meanings have fucking double meanings. So I'm like, that's got to mean something. Jesse Eisenberg's father, the fact that he mentioned him being from Germany. Then in the trailer for the Snyder Cut that we never got, we see Cyborg in a jacket. In his jacket, still human before the accident, or maybe it's being projected from his mind, and he is Cyborg, but he's just seeing he's being transferred to some other area in time. And his inside avatar, he thinks of himself as still human, but either way, it's back in the day during Nazi Hitler time. And I think that what if Jesse Eisenberg, Jesse Eisenberg's father or grandfather, what if they grew up in Germany? Clearly, his dad's from Germany. And what if that scene relates to his grandfather or his father stumbling upon shit that had to either do with the mother boxes, a planet apocalypse, dark side, or some kind of secret information, and his father, maybe they hid some shit and buried a mother box in Germany or some shit, or had some kind of documentation where the Nazis were trying to like cross over into a like different playing field over to planet apocalypse and shit. And his father was a powerful man over there and fucking, had journals and shit on it and passed this shit down to Lex Luthor. And in the Snyder Cut, that's why Batman's got to go after Lex Luthor near the beginning of the film to go after him to get his fucking journals. Instead of them just skipping past all that, that's part of Batman's arc in the beginning. They show him slowly going after Lex to track him down and talking to him in his prison cell, and them showing Lex Luthor breaking back out of prison. Or actually, no. Yeah, breaking back out of prison and shit afterwards. And what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about that idea? Because I really think that Cyborg and Lex Luthor, something about their arc, I believe they cross in the Snyder Cut. And I made a video quite a while ago on that, on a theory, and I break it down way better. Freaking silent studio. Okay. So don't worry. Amy will be back as Lois, and Henry will be back as Clark. If Zach, Jim Lee, and J.J. Abrams have anything to say about it, right? Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I think Warzone is right because Captain America 3 was supposed to be Serpent Society, where the focus was on Hydra. Ah, yep. Yep. See, I don't know about too much about Captain America Civil War's initial script. I just know that what we did get, what we did see, was different than what we were supposed to get. And I just, I don't know, man. Yeah, something definitely, like I said, something got leaked somewhere. Somebody did something. We'll probably never know exactly what, when, and how. But either way, it was very clear that they were, and that's why I said it's just these studios, they have so much power, authority, and money in pull nowadays. It's ridiculous. They can manipulate critic reviews, manipulate what you can search on the web. They'll change shit on YouTube over Brie Larson and fucking change the whole way that critic systems are rated. Like, it's like, how much should fucking Disney fucking pay Rotten Tomatoes, to fucking do that? Because Rotten Tomatoes is owned by Fandango, and the fucking head of Fandango worked for Disney. How much money did they float Rotten Tomatoes to change the whole fucking system from the ground up so that trolls couldn't fucking have a say about how they felt about fucking Brie Larson and her fucking woke SJW fucking nonsense and bullshit, or the fact that just her acting in general, she had a wooden fucking face, and then deleted scenes came out from Captain Marvel, and she's man bashing people and shit. Like, there was a scene where she broke this dude's fucking hand and stole his motorcycle for no reason. I don't know. Okay. Serpent Society would have been sick, but why would they been able to go hard? Oh, but would they have been able to go hard? I don't know. Yeah, see, like I said, man, the cartoons and the comics of Marvel, I fuck with. It's just I really am not a big fan of the way they did their cinematic universe. A lot of people are, and that's great. And there is a couple of them that I enjoy. If I want to have a laugh and a good time, and not a good time like that, just a laugh and just a little bit of entertainment, kind of like a roller coaster ride. I'll check out some movies. I like my serious fucking movies. I like a movie that's got a plot that means something, that everything's building towards something. And I like movies that reflect real life. Movies where everything's fucking kittens and rainbows and bright colors and jokes and shit. That's not real life. Shit gets tough. Shit gets ugly. That's life. But, and like I said, a lot of the source material from the characters, even like Captain America, Serpent Society, that would have been fucking dope. Would they have been able to go hard with it, go deep with it? I don't know. That's on the big screen, that's hard to say. That's right, bro. She loves the character Lois, but she's like us in the dark. Yeah. Yup. Exactly. Exactly, Koj. Yup. That's exactly what I was saying, man. Yup. Interesting note, Amy Adams has a producer deal with HBO. Therefore, imagine her helping produce the Snyderverse stuff on HBO Max. Perhaps a Lois Lane series. Ooh, okay. All right, I can see that. I could dig that. Yeah, like a Lois Lane series, where it's kind of like she's doing some detective shit and doing some real Lois Lane shit, Maybe they go into her background a little bit about her being an army brat, and showing her, really showing the detective and clever fucking side of it, and really focus in on that, and maybe bring something, to the table that we haven't seen before. Okay, the movie radar. Last year, Jared Leto said he would be willing to return as the Joker if offered the chance. That says a lot considering he said that after filming Morbius. There's still hope for Leto's Joker. Thank you, man. I appreciate that comment so much, dude. Anything positive about Jared Leto's Joker tickles me fucking pink. Makes me smile. Because that dude and David Ayer, man, they got so, I mean, Zach too, obviously, but, mainly Zach, but David Ayer and fucking Jared Leto, they got so much fucking hate, dude. And honestly, in my opinion, guys, David Ayer was the only, David Ayer's got shit in that movie that is direct Easter eggs to Zack Snyder's previous movies that weren't, before BVS and Man of Steel. There's that fucking, in Suicide Squad, they've got the yellow smiley face, that, that's from the movie Watchmen. David Ayer was really in the Ayer cut, really trying his best and working side by side with Zach. David Ayer has a lot of respect for Zach, and David Ayer was trying to continue. He wasn't just trying to, okay, Zach, you did this, well, I'm going to make my movie. And David Ayer, if he wanted to, he could have just made his movie however the fuck he wanted. He could have made the tone fucking bright colors and fucking could have been Pegasus shooting out of somebody's ass with fucking butterflies, and just goofy as shit. He could have did it however he wanted. He respected and wanted to build with Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder and David Ayer were building the DCEU as we know it, the first ever DCEU. And in the Ayer cut, and in David Ayer's movie, he filmed it to be a direct sequel to BVS. They cut out that connective tissue, most of it, not all of it. Okay? In his version, there's a score. There's an actual score. It's not a bunch of, yes, there's hip-hop music and hip-hop inspiration in it because he wanted to do it like that. But they went so far over the top with this fucking music video studio, they had cut the film together, that it's just a bunch of songs and songs. There's really no fucking real score. And the only time that it's just, there's not even, I don't even think there is a score. But in the trailers, you hear it. It's like the first one's dun, 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 dun. And it's kind of similar to the BVS score in a sense. And she's like, I hope you got insurance. And the Joker's punching the fucking top of the roof. It's, woo! None of that shit was in the movie. And the score, and it showed Harley making this evil face, like doing this bite thing, or Harley with the shotgun, like, dun, and the score hit. That was going to be a dark fucking rated R fucking movie. That was going to be a direct sequel to BVS. It was going to have fucking Steppenwolf, Zach's model of Steppenwolf, as the main villain at the end. Joker was going to be fucking R-rated, beating fucking heads in with a baseball bat, shooting motherfuckers, slapping Harley up like the Mad, like on the animated series and the Mad Love storyline and shit. And he was wearing, even in the theatrical cut, they kept that. David Ayer had him in the most classic Joker outfits. He had him in like every classic Joker fucking outfit there was, and his laugh. If you've seen that scene where he was in the helicopter shooting, that's from the Ayer cut that was left in the theatrical cut. Came up there, shooting that golden machine gun and shit. Why do you think his laugh sounded so much different? Why do you think his laugh sounded good? They reshot his laugh. They reshot the 5 minutes of his lines and the scenes that he was in the movie. Even though what you've seen, they made him reshoot. There was very few scenes. The scene with the motorcycle chase scene, that's an Ayer cut scene that's only in the extended cut. And the scene that was even in the theatrical cut where Joker's in the plane and he's got his gold machine gun and he's shooting, saving Harley, that's from there. And if you notice, them two scenes are fucking spectacular when it comes to Joker and Harley Quinn. And all the other scenes are fucking corny. And yes, Jared Leto should be. Joaquin Phoenix's Joker was dope. But guess what? He's not in the DCEU. People need to quit saying that shit. Pattinson's Batman, I'm looking forward to it. It may or may not be dope. It could be spectacular. Won't know till it's made. But guess what? I'm going to check it out when it comes out. And hey, a lot of people are excited for it. But the thing is, and that's fine. Quit saying that he's replacing Ben Affleck. Robert Pattinson is not. Listen, Robert Pattinson is not replacing Ben Affleck. If they do a fucking, they've probably got a Matt Reeves trilogy planned out, kind of like the Christopher Nolan shit, how they had a trilogy, okay? And that's completely fine if that's what they're doing. He's not going to just, that's the new Batman. Yes, he's the new Batman in that aspect, but the DCEU and their Black Label shit is going to be totally different. Now, could Joaquin Phoenix turn out to be Robert Pattinson's Joker somewhere down the line? If they wanted to, they could very well make that happen. Will they? I don't know. But there's still no reason why Jared Leto's Joker could not return. There's not. Okay? There's not. The only way that Jared Leto's Joker is not going to be able to return is if when James Gunn's The Suicide Squad soft reboot comes out, the fact that the Joker's not in that movie, that's a little concerning to me. The fact that Joker and Will Smith's Deadshot, we've seemed to have lost them for good. And the fact that they're not in there, what happens if, that James Gunn makes that movie and he ends up changing Harley Quinn's character? Like the soft reboot makes Harley Quinn as a character don't even act like the Harley Quinn we've seen in Suicide Squad, or even the damn one from the Birds of Prey movie. Like she's like a different version of Harley. Because from the outfits and shit that she's got and the makeup and the facial expressions, it looks like she's playing like a different version. Like this soft reboot is going to create like a different version or some shit. And if that's the case, I don't know. It's just worrisome for me to think about because that would extremely piss me off. Okay? I don't know. Sorry I spent so much time on that, but I'm very passionate about the Ayer cut and Jared Leto's Joker. He was not given a chance. I'd always been more of a Batman fan than a Superman fan until I saw Man of Steel. Yes. Yep. See now me, I'm the other way around. I was always a little bit more of a Superman fan than a Batman fan, but I loved both Superman and Batman. Don't get it twisted. Always, them were my fucking dudes, man, since childhood. My dudes. But when I seen BVS with Ben Affleck, Batfleck, that's what made me a hardcore Batman, because I'm like, I related to Ben Affleck's Batman, just seeing what he was going through, seeing him like, man, I'm tired of taking people's shit, playing that old man Bruce, but not that old. Like, he's still cocky, and he drinks liquor and shit, and he's got scars and got pain, wakes up in the morning and his body aches, and he's just like fucking punch. I was like, first time ever, rooting for Batman. I was wanting Superman to get his ass whooped. I'm like, damn, but Superman ain't doing shit wrong, man. What's wrong? I can't decide. Oh, y'all gotta stop fighting now, man. Oh, that was dope. Y'all gotta stop fighting. But yep, Henry Cavill is our hashtag. Henry Cavill is our Superman. Hashtag Amy Adams is our Lois Lane. Accept no substitutes. Hashtag I stand with Zack Snyder. Hashtag into the Snyderverse. Hell yeah. I agree, hard-boiled. Bro, you are a one-man army. You are killing it. Nothing wrong with your style. You're on point and real. Keep the fire burning, B. Hashtag release the Snyder cut. Hell yeah. Thanks, Go Jay. I do not know how to say that name. Amshri? Kitwatkar? Please forgive me. I don't mean to be offensive. I can't pronounce that. Hi. Oh, Damien Anton Vincent. Good night. Good night, brother. I don't know if I already missed you. Good night, man. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, the movies radar. I think in May, the Snyder Cut will be on HBO Max without additional photography. But in 2021, we'll get it in theaters with additional photography. Hey, you know what? That's a good possibility. Okay, that's a good possibility. You never know, man. I see. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about the HBO Max thing. I don't know if that's where they're going to drop it first or not, man. I don't know. I don't know. But I'll take it any way I can get it. I believe it's definitely going to hit theaters first. But you never know. You never know, man. Hey, I'd be cool with that too. And it will be renamed Zack Snyder's Justice League Part 1 for theaters. Yep, I agree with that 100%. Marvel copied Snyder the moment Nolan left. Yep. Koj, I'm down with that movie radar. Okay. Lord Koj. Oh yeah. Why am I reading y'all motherfuckers' comments? You talking to him? I don't even know. Hold on. For me, the two best MCU flicks were Captain America: Winter Soldier and Guardians of the Galaxy Phase 1. Was great too, of course. But it's sad how soon after Guardians, MCU went mostly cookie cutter. Yes. Yep, that is exactly right, dude. What's great about Zack, among many things, is Chris Nolan picked the Zack Attack to do Superman. That means a lot. Yep. It sure does, man. But see, people don't, the thing is, though, is I don't know why, but a lot of people that are Christopher Nolan fans, not a lot, but quite a bit of them, they don't see it that way. They don't care. I don't know if it's that they don't know, or I think it's just that they don't care. They're just like, I don't know. But most people that are Nolan fans do not care for Zack Snyder. I don't know why. Not all of them, by any means. But a lot of the hardcore Nolan fans, I don't know. But yeah, it does mean a lot. Yup. Leto never got a chance to shine. South Cali guy, what's up, man? Sorry, I'm so late to these comments. Hey, guys, glad to be here. Release the Snyder Cut. You hear about BVS Michigan event being postponed due to the C virus? Yes, I did. And that's very unfortunate. I did hear about that. I don't know if they really are doing that. I mean, I heard that they were thinking about it. I mean, if they already did, then I'm a little behind on that. But yeah, man, the shit's getting out of control. Can't even talk about that shit on YouTube, man, without getting flagged. Okay. All right. Yep, the studio wanted Nolan himself to do Superman, but Nolan himself told them Zack Snyder would do it better than he ever could. Mad respect for Nolan. Okay. See, I didn't know that. I respect him a little more for that now. It got postponed. Damn. Yep. I doubt Amy had any recent interview about Lois. If she did, I'd be the first one to know. I love her so much. You know it, Koj. Hey, did you notice how CW took Ryan Choi, Adam, and crossover, and that the Flash's daughter in CW has the same power as Ezra Miller's Flash, like reversing time, and those dumb copy brothers copied everything. Yeah, I noticed. Okay. As for Jesse Eisenberg's bald Lex Luthor, I'd love to see him versus Amy Adams Lois in an epic battle of wits. Yeah. Hell yeah. It might be online still, but has anybody seen the Hot Toys prototype Justice League figures? There was a Lex Luthor figure where he's wearing Zod's armor and it's green and purple. Hot Toys. Yes, dude. I seen this hot toy that you're talking about. I can't remember if I did it. I swear I had a small section on an old ass video where I talked about this. But yeah, I think Zack Snyder set it up for Lex Luthor to eventually take that suit that was in BVS. Lynn Shuckers Pros. I like that shit. Anyway, but yeah, I think they set it up. I seen that hot toy that was purple and green. It was armored. It looked like the one that one of the ones that Zod had on, but it was green and purple and shit. And yeah, I seen that, and I always wondered, is that supposed to be Lex Luthor's fucking kryptonite armored suit? And I know it was going to be, but we just never got around. After BVS, that was like all we really had of whatever we were gonna get so far until the damn Snyder Cut comes out. I wonder if that'll be a scene in there, you know? Great theory. As you mentioned, the great stuff in the trailers. Recall the part of Lois' speech we don't hear in the theatrical cut. Only from the darkness can we truly feel the light. Yup, that's another cut. Some more shit cut that we didn't get. A defense of Zach's vision. Hell yeah, man. Jeff Johns. With it being almost 3 years to the day since Autumn's, Zach's daughter's death, do you think he will post anything with all of our support for ASF? Oh, I know. Yeah, the American Foundation, AFSP, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Okay. ASFP, I think that's how it is. A thank you or something like that in her honor. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know, man. It just depends. I don't know how Zach's gonna handle that, man. That's rough. That's tough. That's a tough question to answer. And I don't really know. I don't know, man. He might just silently grieve and not really do anything, or he could, he could definitely do something in her, to pay homage to his late daughter, Autumn, and her death, and and coordinate with RT Snyder Cut. Okay. Okay, imagine the second or third season of Mandalorian having Zack Snyder do some episodes, maybe a multi-part storyline. I have spoken. Yep, that would be fucking cold. Yep, that would be cold as shit, man. Oh, well, I want to hear. Fun fact: Edward Norton's sequel would have had Hulk versus Wolverine, and the original Avengers script had Hulk as Loki's brawn. So to me, it looks like the old story might have been better. Yeah, I always thought that Marvel fucked over Edward Norton, and I think that Edward Norton was the best Hulk that they've ever had. And Edward Norton was trying to do some dark shit, not dark, but some grounded, dark, serious shit with the Hulk. And I really enjoyed Incredible Hulk. Could have been better, but if you look at what he was initially going to do and where he was going to take the story from there, from the scripts and shit, I don't know. Okay, even in the theatrical cut of Suicide Squad, Jared Leto wasn't all that bad. He made the best he could with a Jeff Johns and WB shitfest script. I agree, man. I agree, dude. I mean, was he the shit? No. Was he terrible? No. But he was his look, other than the tats on the face, that was too much. Even David Ayer said that was going a little too far. That fucking damage. Other than that damage tattoo, he was perfect. Joker in the comics has tats. Not that many, but he has tats in the comics, okay? And the outfits that he's wearing, dead fucking on. His haircut and hairstyle, dead fucking on. The way of his look, with the lips being red, but not fucking like crazy up here, that's Joker. And you know what I'm saying? That's Joker. His skin being bleached from the acid fall, that's Joker. That is a comic accurate fucking Joker. And he had so much potential and story that he could have told, but Avengers 1 script, by the way. Okay. On Lois being an army brat, imagine Gary as Jen, Sam, Lane, Oh, okay. And imagine that Cale Swanwick, aka John Jones, aka Martian Manhunter, was old friends with Sam, and they were Army Rangers in Nam. Okay. I can see that. All right. Let's speed up. I want to catch back up. I'm going to skip a couple of these guys. A friend at my school said Superman's the most basic superhero. All I thought was, men don't stay good in this world. So tuck your chain. Man, that's funny. That had me cracking up. Men don't stay good in this world. I mean, everybody, that's what I'm saying, man. That's my point. People think Superman is, he says that, you know why? Because he thinks Superman's basic because the fact that Superman's always had a bland, uppity storyline and he's overpowered. So it's very hard to tell a good Superman story on, in real, in live action film. And that's my point. Zack Snyder fucking did that. And people still weren't happy. Fuck. Like, it's like, catch you soon, bro. Thanks for having me. Release the Snyder cut. All right, Koj. Yup, I'm about to end the live stream soon, guys. Just giving you a heads up. Thank you, everybody, that tuned in. Yep, this is my first live stream. Next time, I will schedule this shit. It won't be such a, last minute thing. Hopefully it'll go a little smoother and everything. I appreciate everybody that tuned in. I'm gonna skip down here and I'm gonna read. I'm gonna do a couple of these and we're gonna end it. Okay. Ren's Lens. What do you think about fans pressuring Netflix to let Zack create his own superhero mythology? Netflix wants superheroes bad. I don't know. I mean, I guess it just depends on how Zack Snyder feels about it. I would be down with that. I would be down with that. I mean, once we get our Snyder cut, I mean, after that, depending on if they're gonna keep going with it, and, depending on whether the Snyder cut's just it or if they're gonna finish it. But if the Snyder cut is it, I say let him go, continue on in his own way once that's released on Netflix. I mean, but like I said, only if Zack Snyder's down for that. Don't want to force the man to do anything that he's not up for doing. He's been through a lot of shit over the last couple of years from people and with his daughter and with everything in studios, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, I would be down for that. I don't know. Like I said, hopefully they're not pressuring him in a bad way. I mean, I guess it depends on in what manner you're saying that they're pressuring him. I don't know. I'm curious myself, honestly, to know how Zack would feel about that. Because I think that would be kind of cool. Charles Smith. Luthor's armor is called the War Suit. Yeah, yep. Lex Luthor's armor is called the War Suit. Yeah, it slipped my mind earlier. I was thinking about it, and I couldn't remember the name. It's right on the edge of my tongue. Yeah, his armored suit. Yep, it's called the War Suit. Right on. Man, I would have loved to seen him, Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor, get suited and booted in the War Suit, and just whoop some Superman ass, and just seeing him do some real super villain, super bad guy type shit, all powered up and shit. With kryptonite, with the bald head, like maybe like a kryptonite stone here. And he goes like this and shit. Fucking lights up the suit. Maybe he's got like a green Omega beam or some shit. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Extra. Okay. All right. Chubby Teddy Productions. Hey, T-Flame, I got to dip out, big dog. Keep doing these live streams. Great job, homies. All right, brother. Good night. Chubby Teddy Monster Productions. Thanks for tuning in. Hardboiled Entertainment. Yeah, Edward Norton was alienated through interference. So was Patty Jenkins and Natalie Portman. Yup. Yeah, it's a damn shame. To explain what I said before, Gary played Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that, man. Okay. Damian, Anton, Vincent. Take care. Thanks for tuning in, brother. Good night. I'm getting ready to end the live stream here real soon, guys. We'll do more in the future. Warzone. You killed this live stream. Goodbye, everybody. Release the Snyder Cut. See you later, Warzone. Thanks for tuning in, bud. Hardboiled Entertainment. Heck, imagine the irony if Kevin Feige gave Zack Snyder full creativity over the X-Men film franchise of the MCU. Ooh, probably never going to happen. Yeah. But hey, yeah, that'll probably never fucking happen, dude. But you know what? I'm going to sit here and imagine if it did somehow, some way. That would be dope. That would be dope, dude. I mean, I'm just thinking about I wonder what it would look like and feel like, you know, like, yeah, it'd be different, man. I bet you Zach could really do pretty damn good with an actor playing Wolverine, because Wolverine has got like that storyline, like where Zach could really pull out some magic with that dark shit and that fucking, you know, with the action and just I could just see it, man. Okay, night, Southern Cali guy, 87. Night, y'all. Good night, dude. Thanks for tuning in. And weren't you the winner on Subjective? Yeah, wasn't you the? Didn't you win a prize on Subjective Reviews' channel? I tune into. I see. It's very rare I miss an episode of Subjective Reviews. I believe that was you, bud. But anyway, if it was you, congratulations. But either way, thanks for tuning in, man. Was a good live today. Thank you. Fight for the good, fight for everyone. Release the Snyder Cut. Yep, you were the winner. Okay, I thought so, buddy. I never get a face and a profile and a name. I remember shit like that, and excuse me. And yeah, I tune into all the Subjective Reviews and shit. Ping Pong Flicks, Fatal J, my boy Fatal J. Yep, I remember, man. I stay up on all that shit. Yep, on Subjective Reviews. Yep. Henry Cavill as Cyclops, Amy Adams as Jean Grey, Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Wolverine. Yeah, why not? Yeah, why not? I could see that. All right, guys. I'm ending the live stream. Thanks for tuning in to Strong Arm Flicks. I'm your boy T Flame. Peace.